Alright. So, this is Cinnamon. Just give me a second. I gotta download what I need. I just wanted to update the channel. The reason why I haven't made a video in about a month is because I've been busy. One, playing Borderlands. Two, trying to find a job. And three, which has kind of been a hassle more often than not, is when I bought this laptop. This is a ThinkPad L15. Hang on a second. There we go. When I bought this laptop, it was advertised as having a backlit keyboard. It doesn't. And so I've been contacting nonstop the place where I bought it from, which was Office Max Depot, or whatever the fuck it's called. And they've just been giving me the fucking runaround, and it got to the point where I was literally threatening legal action because this is fucking retarded. And so they contacted, I think it was Lenovo, while we were on the phone, did like a three-way call. They contacted the wrong department, but they were able to run the serial number and confirm that, yeah, this doesn't have a fucking backlit keyboard. And they refunded me the $90 that it cost to buy a new keyboard. That doesn't include the $5 shipping and tax that I paid out of pocket for, but whatever. It's my error. I should have asked for $100 even. I'm still not getting reimbursed for the Microsoft operating system I'm not using, which is just 100% horseshit. But at least I'm getting the backlit keyboard. That'll be here by the 4th. So I'm happy on that fact, that I'll be at least getting what I paid for. I'm gonna just have to take 2 screws out from the bottom, take the keyboard out, and unplug the keyboard and plug in the new keyboard. It's fucking easy. I do like the repairability aspect in that regard. It's a little less repairable than my old Dell, but such is the case with modern hardware, unfortunately. So, the other problem I'm having, if I hit Control-T, and we do flatback update, as you can see, I'm running into problems with Cinnamon again. Cinnamon, in the past year or so, has been having these issues where some of the things I use in Flatpak can't update because some of the packages Cinnamon uses are just fucking outdated, unfortunately. So I can't update my software because end-of-life software. Before it was GNOME. Something in GNOME was end-of-life. Yeah. As much as I love Cinnamon, I think it's time to say fuck it and just go somewhere else. My biggest thing is with Cinnamon, I can just go to settings, privacy, and turn that off. I can't do that with xfce, and I'll show you momentarily once this finishes fucking downloading. But unfortunately, I've tried KDE. I can't theme it the way I want to. As you can see, the theming I have here. I just can't fucking theme it properly. It's a pain in the fucking ass. I don't like the theming and how it works on KDE. It's just too much of a fucking asshole. And I can't get it the way I want it to look. So I'm not using KDE. I'm not using GNOME because I don't like the fact that I can't get the classic Mac layout that I have here with the buttons on GNOME.
Zachary, what's your net worth?
Give me a second. Alright, I had to pause the recording for a second. Someone needed something from me. Alright. One of the benefits of having like 40 gigs of RAM is I can put the minimum. So right off the bat, I like the kind of abstract thing we got going on with the background. It's just two circles and some lines. It's kind of simplistic. Don't really like the color scheme though, but the artwork's nice. Let's try Ubuntu. Sticky keys are enabled. What the fuck is this aspect? Fucking Christ. Alright, so that's fixed. Alright, now it doesn't look like shit. Scratch that, it still kind of looks like shit. So let's go back to settings. Let's go to panel. Let's not lock the panel. And let's move the panel so it's not up top, because fuck that shit. Alright, now let's lock the panel. And there's a reason why I chose Ubuntu to show off xfce, and I'll get to that in a second. So we want to add the weather. And then we want to move some shit around here. So we want to move that to there. Get rid of that because we're on a virtual machine, so we don't need that. Notifications. Can go there. Prefer to have the network there. Alright, that's that for now. Um, so the other thing I don't like about XFC is this calendar is very fucking small. It serves its purpose, but it's not as good as Cinnamon. If we go minimize this for a second, see, that is actually nicer. I would like to see a little bit more polishing in XFC. Um, Before we move on, I just want to see something. We are at 511. So one newer than what I'm on with Debian. So we want to look for the dock-like taskbar. And this is why I chose Ubuntu, because on pretty much every distro except Arch and Ubuntu, you need to build this shit. With Ubuntu, we can just copy and paste shit. Alright, now that that's installed, let's, alternatively, what you can do is Alt-Tab. See, there we go. Settings is over here. So we're going to go to Panel now, and we're going to go to Items, and we're going to get rid of the Windows button. Yes. And we are going to add the dock-like taskbar. And we are going to move that up here. Nope, I don't want to do that. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's go with 26. While we're here, let's go to Papyrus. And I was just using the arrows to do that, by the way. And then that PPA should also give us the papyrus folders, so we're going to do that as well. And then papyrus folders. So we're going to go back to whole settings. Go to appearance. We're going to go to papyrus. And then we're going to Alt Tab to the terminal. Hit enter. That C has to be capital, by the way. And then if we go to File Manager, we have black folders. Alright. Making good progress. We can get out of the terminal for now. Window Manager tweaks, I think it was. Nope, not Window Manager tweaks. Window Manager. There we go. So we're going to take this and move it here. So now we have that classic Mac layout. And now we need a we just need a better theme because this is kind of ugly. But already looking better. In fact, I think we might be able to make that a little bit bigger. Nope. Anything above 27, and that just gets too big here. So let's keep it at 26. Alright, so we want to do Yaru colors, most likely. There should be a dev file somewhere. I can never fucking find it. Alright, well, let's do snap. and say fuck it. I don't really advocate snaps because I think they suck. But in this case, let's just go ahead. Seeing as how we're on Ubuntu anyways, and this is just for demonstration purposes. I much prefer Flatpaks. My main issue with Snap is it's proprietary, and it's much slower. Uh, on my old Dell, which is like 10 years old, it probably took like a minute longer to launch a Snap over a Flatpak. Even on this 8-core 16-thread processor, that's a Ryzen 7 4000 series Pro, um, it still takes a few seconds longer. So it's just an inferior to Flatpaks altogether. Um, what the fuck was I even typing? Let's go to settings here. Let's go to appearance, and we should have Yarrow colors installed. Da, da, da. Yeah, it doesn't look like it works for xfce, unfortunately. The only other one that I would consider right off the bat would be Numix. Because Numix doesn't look like shit. Um, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but turns out it just doesn't fucking work. There are other themes that don't look terrible. That you could do, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. I don't know why this isn't fucking loading right away. Alright. Yeah, because Bluetooth doesn't work because I have it shut off and disabled on the hardware level on my laptop, so that's good. Alright, the other thing was recently accessed files, so we would go to Control H, if I remember how to do this fucking correctly. And I don't, so I have to grab my phone. Alright, so we need to look for the .config. Oh, it's right there. Alright, so we need an INI file. So in square brackets, do settings. Enter GTK. Is this more convenient than a fucking button in settings? No. And this is kind of why I don't like xfce. So now if we were to, I don't know. Go to LibreOffice Writer. File. As you can see, recently accessed is no longer there. Again, is this simpler than going to your settings? Where's settings on xfce here? I mean, on Cinnamon. On Cinnamon, you just go to settings, you go to privacy, you click a button. On xfce, you have to go into a hidden folder, you have to create a file, and you have to type this shit. Not easier than a button. And that's kind of my difficulty with xfce. I can't fucking talk right now. And it's one of the reasons why I don't really like using it as much. Because it's a bit of a hassle. And unfortunately, a lot of distros do a lot of weird shit and create their own INI files. And it kind of creates some fucking problems. The other reason why I don't use KDE, and I can't really show this because I'm not on KDE right now, but let's say if I changed my cursor, if I'm on the window, my cursor would be what I changed it to. If I was on this taskbar here, for example, in KDE, the cursor would reflect what I wanted it to be. But if I go to my desktop, it just reverts to default. And I don't know why KDE does that shit, and that's why I don't fucking use it. KDE really needs to fix a lot of the fucking issues I'm having with it. Because there's no reason if I change a cursor, it reverts to default on a desktop. There's no reason why if I download GNOME, Cinnamon, or xfce, and I set up a theme, it applies to all software, whether it's Qt software or GTK software. Whereas with KDE, you have to set up the theme for both. It's not very fucking streamlined. It's a pain in the ass to theme, and that's the only issue I have left with it. Is the theming is just terrible. xfce, on the other hand, is really the second best to Cinnamon, honestly. I don't like GNOME all too well. There's just too much you have to do with it. You can't really theme it properly. I don't know what theme I would go off the top of my head. Control H to get rid of that shit. But this is ultimately pretty good. Let's see what other backgrounds we got here. We got this cat. Just, why does everything go to fucking zoomed? Zoomed is fucking terrible. Well, that explains why. So we got this 4x3 picture of a cat. For some reason, it's in 4x3. We got some abstract art here. Still not 16 by 9, I'm noticing. Is any of this 16 by 9? No. We have to stretch it. And again, if we do scaled, stretching it looks like shit, so, we have to zoom, which, looks like shit, honestly. And the fact that none of these are in native 16 by 9 is kind of fucking stupid. Oh, Jesus Christ. If it's not one thing, it's another. This is a very minor issue. I mean, you can just download proper backgrounds that aren't gonna need to be zoomed or fucking shit. Um, but yeah, that's xfce. I'd very much recommend, if you are going to use it, install the dock-like taskbar. It can be tricky if you're installing it, uh, because on like Debian and everything else, you really do need to install like 50 other packages in order to get it to work. Um, I do recommend, as an icon theme, Papyrus and Papyrus folders. You're not limited to just black. You can do array of other colors. Um, but yeah, I mean, xfce is a great option, and there's no issue with Flatpak that I'm aware of. Um, so maybe uh, I'll switch within the next month or so to xfce, because honestly, as much as I love Cinnamon, it's just not working out. And I can get the deb file for Linux Mint's theming on any Debian-based system, because it is a deb file. Just go to their repos and download it off there. So anything based on Debian, that's running xfce, I can get Linux Mint's xfce theme. Yaru Colors isn't working, but that's fine. So I will see you guys in the next video then. Maybe consider xfce because it's a really good desktop environment.